Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 21 of Omnifactory. We have a lot to do today, and we have a lot to pick up from last time that got like half done and now needs to be finished completely. First things first, we need to make these high power IC wafers. I think I still have a bunch of indium gallium, yeah, I have a bunch of stuff left over, and I think I have extra phosphorus, so we should be good to set up an automation for this and not have to worry about it for a while. Now, the process of setting this up is slightly annoying. I need to alloy, red alloy, I need to shove it into a fluid extractor, auto export please, and then this needs to be auto exported into the chemical reactor, right? Yep, chemical reactor. I have that right here. And, oh, don't throw things on the ground. It should be getting the stuff. So now we just need to supply power IC wafers and indium gallium phosphide. So let me make the power IC wafers now before we continue with this chain. Just kidding, we already have them. So I will just make them available like that. And then I need, what else? The indium gallium phosphide. Let's grab that, shove it right into my inventory, do it right there, and we will do an item conduit. Don't connect there, and we'll limited item filter this so we don't back up too much, and there we go. There it is. Okay, things are in, and it begins the reaction, I think. Ooh, it is pretty slow. Okay, interesting. It's gonna run in the background though, so it's fine. And then right next to this, I'm going to have a cutting machine. I'm gonna need to supply it with a little bit of water. How am I going to do this? Probably the ender. I cannot type ender tank, please. Thank you. I'll throw that just on top and make it export. Make it export. There we go. And then I'll force this thing to auto output. As soon as it has one, it should go in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to level emit this guy so we don't back up too much on the high power IC like this thing, because we don't particularly need that many of them. If you check in here, you need 32 and 48 and 64 for each tier of the fusion reactors. However, I don't think we're going to need the third tier fusion reactor because we'll get to the creative tank before we need that. And then you need one for those, and that's about it. So I'm going to level emit when we have 256 of them in the system, and oh yeah, I changed the ender tank to be on the bottom so we can level emit from the top and not have to do some wonky wiring, which is perfectly fine. So now I just need to extract these into an interface and we should be good to go. Now that we've got the HPIC wafers, or the circuits, or whatever they're called, we're almost ready to make the Fusion Reactor Mark 1. I actually ordered all of the tier 7s that we need, and we can make Nether Star plates, right? No, I don't have that recipe in yet. Let me put that in really quickly. I can make the plutonium-241 plates pretty easily. We just need superconducting wire and fusion coils. Do I have field generator IV in here yet? That's as simple as just adding in a recipe, so I'm going to do that really quickly, and then we can start working on superconductors. These superconducting wires are going to require another vacuum freezer, and I have another line set up right here for this. Can I get a... I might make a couple more. Also, yeah, I expanded this room slightly just to match what we had over here, so it's one big square. And here is our handy dandy vacuum freezer. However, this isn't all we have to do. I'm going to set up infrastructure so we can auto craft nether stars, because I don't, once again, want to use crafting cards. You can pretty much... yeah, this is pretty much the best way to get nether stars. So I need to set up automation for all 5 of these things using mechanical crafters. And it is done. Is it fancy? No. Is it very pretty? No. Is it functional? Oh, you know it is. So right here, we're creating block of luminescence, which is required for the nether star cores. We're creating all of the little points on here and over here. We're sending them all into the one true crafting table, creating me my nether stars. These are going into a storage drawer right here, which will have a buffer on it in just, or a storage, what is it called? Wait, what is it called? Storage bus. My brain is broken right now. I'll storage bus this, and then we will need to send it into here with a fluid extractor. Also, once again, we're taking advantage of the fact that these auto crafters can pull from an adjacent inventory exactly one recipe in order to create what they want to create. So, you know, that's a very nice thing. Also, it looks like they're fast enough to keep... Wait, of course they're fast enough, because the nether stars are being created right here. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay, fluid extractor time. And here we go. The nether stars are slowly being turned into molten nether stars. Now we got a big buffer to fill up, however, I don't think we're hurting on any of the dusts or anything like that. Yeah, as you can see, our backlog is pretty much full. Every time it updates, it fills entirely back up, so we should technically be able to craft nether stars forever and have no issues, except for potentially luminescence. Let's check how our luminescence is doing. It is dropping. However, I know why that is. It's because we're not producing phosphoric acid fast enough. Eventually, if I AFK overnight or something, it will reach its peak and we should have no issue with luminescence from then on. I went ahead and set our vacuum freezer up to an interface with the pattern for superconductor wires. So now I should, since I put in all the recipes, be able to just order, let's say 10 of them. Let's go ahead and let it happen. Let's watch the magic. And it's going. It's not very fast. I could pump it up to, what is it, ZPM? Wait, no. Wait, what's this next tier? LUV. I could add a second input hatch to make it LUV. However, I think this is fine for now. On second thought, let's actually go ahead and do that really quickly because this machine isn't one that's going to be running all the time like these. I'm running these on Ivy and they're using 32,000 RF a tick. So I'm not going to put them on LUV because then they'd use 128,000 RF per tick, which is a bit too much. Also, this draconium thing is essentially never going to stop because it's set to 10,000. So now let's see how much faster it is. Superconductor. Give me 20 of them this time. Why don't you? It should pop right in there. Oh, that's much faster. So yeah, this is a batch crafting machine, so it doesn't run all the time, so we can afford to use a little bit more power for it. We can now make the fusion reactor Mark 1, and I have all the stuff for it in my inventory. I'm actually going to do this one manually because I don't particularly, care to automate it because it's... Ooh, I will have to automate it eventually. We'll deal with this later. Or maybe I'll just batch craft them because this is very late game stuff. What I want to do is, what does it need? Soldering alloy? Soldering alloy is in both of these. So I need to put one tier 7 circuit in each of 4 input buses, and that should do its thing. One nether star plate in one of these, one plutonium plate in one of those, some superconductors in here, IV field generators in there, and HPIC in there, and it should start going, unless I messed something up. Oh, my fusion coil block. I forgot. Did I make it yet? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's our first fusion coil block, and that should be a quest, I think, or maybe it's gated that I haven't, behind something I haven't done yet. However, it is running, and it might take a little bit, but that's okay. And there it is, Fusion Reactor Mark 1. I also made one of these superconducting things, which should be the gate for a couple of recipes, or a couple of quests, and no quests done. Okay, looks like we messed something up. However, that's okay. Oh no, oh, it wants 16 of them. That's a tall ask, my dude, but I guess it's the gate. Okay, give me a second. Those superconducting coil blocks are gonna take a minute. We only have 5 of them. I need 10 more. It's been like 2 or 3 minutes because I've been looking at things that we need to do. Also, I forgot to fill this in and make it look not ugly. However, we're going to add to it, so let's not even stress about it. Right now, I want to add 5 more display stands, and I guess I'll do them over here, or not 5 more display stands, 5 more of these empowers for 5 different recipes that we're going to have to do very soon if we want to get into, what is it, like fusion crafting and all that kind of stuff. We're going to need to empower all this stuff. Or the actually additions, what are these called? The crystal blocks or whatever. So I need to set up 5 more empowers to make them. And we're going to stack them vertically because this takes up a lot less space than spreading them out like one by one like this. And it's actually very efficient and usable to do it like this. So what I need to do is set up item conduits to go into all of these guys, and then I need to filter them so it will put the right things in the right spots. Okay, so I've gone ahead and set all the filters in these guys. They're all working and have everything that they should have, so we can craft them, with the exception of one, I haven't set up the recipes for all of them in the IME system, but two, I also have a lot of stuff that I can't craft yet. Like, for example, each of these needs a fluid cell, which I'm going to have to set up tanks for to turn into the fluid cells. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Let's finish off this project before we go on anything else. I also just finished the Superconductor quest, so we should... Oh, it wants me to build one. Okay. Completing quests is not my strong suit, let's say. I just set up all the tanks for our fluid cells. We just need to put interfaces behind them so they will, fill the cells if we make them. I just need to press this button and everything should start filling with the stuff that it needs to fill. So we have sulfuric acid right here, we have nitrogen dioxide right here, and then we have, I believe, argon right here. Yep, it fills from the top to the bottom because I guess it's a gas. And then we have helium here. And then we have an extra tank here because I want symmetry, and we only have 5 things. And with that, I have fully set up the system. I have interfaces in here. I had to make an extruder to make me the empty cells, but now it should be able to throw the cell in here, fill it up, and I have this set on push-pull, so it'll accept items and then it'll push them right back out as soon as it goes in. Let's actually go ahead and request, say, one of the nitrogen dioxide cells. Hopefully, this should work, and it'll get shoved into that thing right there, and get pushed right back out. Perhaps the extruder is taking a minute? Ah, yes, there we go. It worked. Perfect. So the system is now functional. Alright, so I looked through the recipes and it turns out we are going to need the empowered void crystal blocks, which is fine because, we just finished the tower. I added the extra empowers and display stands and also put this thing for carbon right here, which is, it took a little bit more work than I was expecting, and it also threw off our symmetry. But, I'm not dealing with it right now. So I have a couple of things that we actually need to craft that we can't craft right now. Let's go ahead and make sure the empowered void crystal doesn't have anything that we can't craft. No, I think I need to put in a recipe for that, and we should be good. So I need to add recipes for these, and these are going to be made in the implosion compressors. Or are they? No, I'm just going to smelt them. We're not going to worry about it. I think I have sapphire and almandine. I know I have almandine. Do I have sapphire? I do have sapphire. So let's go put in those recipes and we can test our system. I changed my mind. We're actually going to go the implosion compressor way because because these sapphires, they only turn into 1. The almandines turn into 6, but let's get more out of it than we can so we don't have to send off more microminers. So I'm going to set up these things to go through processing entirely, and I'll be back in a moment. I don't really remember if I told you or not, but yeah, I made this implosion compressor, and it's being used right now with TNT to make, these reinforced iridium alloys, which we needed for like fusion coil blocks or something. I can put more recipes in here and use the TNT that I have backlogged, and I also set up a system to make that automatically using the toluene that we have. We already have 4,000 pieces. That should be more than enough for the rest of the pack. So now I should be able to just request like almandine, say, give me 100 of these, and it'll put all the dust into here and begin doing its thing. Oh, why did TNT go in there? Oh, okay, that's an issue. Hold on. What I did wrong was put the TNT in the recipe as well. I'm supplying TNT automatically, so I just need to put the dust in here. So now, if I request, say, I don't know, 100 of these, it should just shove all the dust in here and begin implosion compressing, and it's super fast. So I think is it already done? It might already be done. Oh, yeah, wait. Are you not exporting? What's wrong with you? Oh, you're just really slow. That's the problem, right? Yeah, he's just really slow. And now I'm getting the almandine. Okay, perfect. Next, let's think about what else we can't make. Oh, the last thing we can't make is stabilized uranium, which I can literally just melt some of my million pieces of uranium to get. For now, just like all my other solidifiers, I'm just going to store a stack in the machine. And I'm using this uranium-233 because we have a bunch of it, and it quite literally has no use at this point, I think. So if I don't have, if I need this for something else, I can just make more fuel. It's not really that hard. So now I can use that stabilized uranium to craft the things. I just need to input the recipes for the actual empowered blocks because I haven't done that yet, and then we should be able to craft them just fine. I set in all the patterns, but there was one last step to do before we did that. I had to set up this, what is it called? Atomic Reconstructor to make these blocks right here. So I put the patterns in for all of these. They're using the block recipes, so we can make a, what is it, palace block. I can do this, and it will make a lapis block, and we don't have sapphire. What? Okay, I had to make some sapphire by hand and then replace the sapphire in the recipe with the sapphire that I made. For some reason, it's not the same thing, even though they're exactly the same in like JEI and in the ME terminal. They don't stack for some reason. However, this should work. So now I can say, make me one of those. And it will drop the stuff right there after it makes the lapis. Yep, there you go. It should shoot. There we go. And then it should shove all the stuff into the chest right here, right? Yeah? Or is it still making something? It must still be making something. It is... Oh, there's an issue here too. Okay, for some reason, I had to go over and change all the recipes in the ME system to make them work. If you're doing this part, keep in mind that the sapphire and the almandine from the implosion compressor is different than the one that it says in JEI, and you have to change everything over, but we should be fine. It only uses those two, so everything should work. I also forgot to put the vacuum chest here, so the palace that we made was just sitting on the ground here, not getting sucked into our ME system. My fault. Okay. So, now what we should be able to do is, let's make one of the easy ones. In Nori, I have 20 in my system, I'm going to take it out, so let's go through the entire process. And I don't have any appetite, the one thing I forgot. One second. Okay, I have the dust, I just have to autoclave it. Now, we should have everything that we need, and we should be able to just press go. The iron should go first, and it should get sent right there. It should get zapped. Yep, there we go. It sends into the vacuum chest. Oh, it's having an issue getting into the vacuum chest. Did it make it? No, we're going to have to move the vacuum chest. Okay, I moved the vacuum chest to the side so nothing should get stuck. And over here, sitting in our normal crate, we now have the recipes for both the palace that I ordered and the Inori that I ordered. I just have to begin extracting on brown and allowing this to insert on blue. So let's do that round robin, and everything should start firing very soon. Come on, don't make me look stupid. You got this. Oh wait, I know what I did wrong. No. I put the empowered versions in. We need the normal versions. To call me setting up the last little stage of this thing a mess would be a little bit of an understatement. However, we have the correct things in here. One issue. These guys, the fluid cells, it appears they all or dictionary to each other, or they're the same item in the terms of the item conduits. So we're going to have to use advanced item filters to put those in the right place. Because as you can see, this is a helium cell right here. It shouldn't be able to go in there because we're using carbon cells. However, we now are going to have to use the advanced item filters and maybe like use MBT data or something. I'm not entirely sure. Let me go set these up and make sure everything works. Okay, everything has changed out with the advanced item filters. I believe I spoke incorrectly last time. I think they share NBT data, or they share metadata, but they don't share NBT data. But to make sure, let's go ahead and shove these in there and hope they go in the right spot. And did they? It appears as though they did. This is where this is supposed to go, right? Yes. Okay, it put the cells in the right spot. So why aren't you going? Alright, never mind, they were going. The lasers just weren't showing because they're not a fancy, like, normal recipe. If you input a recipe into the game in the way that this has, this uses craft tweaker, so it's not a normal recipe. Hey, you stay there. Don't give me it back, don't give me it back. Oh, it gave me it back. Take it. There we go. If you input a game using Craft Tweaker for these empowerers, it doesn't show the lasers. So, you know, we don't get the cool lasers like this one has, but we get the stuff that we want. And it should be going. Now that we've gotten that over with, let's look towards Draconic cores. And these are made just like this, very simply. However, the next tier cores, the Wyvern cores, have to be made in fusion crafting, which requires these basic crafting injectors. So let's make a couple Draconic cores to get the quest done, and then look towards putting our fusion reactor together because we need this europium stuff, and that can only be made this way in the fusion reactor. It's easy to make, it just requires a fusion reactor, so we have to make the fusion reactor. So here it goes. Let's see if everything works. Okay, actually I have everything available, so it's going to just craft it just like that. And there's our first Draconic core. We have now entered the Draconic Evolution age, kind of. Okay, let me figure out what we need for the fusion reactor, and I'll be right back. Surprise, surprise, the fusion reactor is a little bit expensive. But, you know, I guess we kind of saw that coming. So I think the I know this is the bottom layer. I think then we have a layer of superconducting coils, and then on top we kind of repeat the middle layer, or the bottom layer. So let me put this together and see if it forms, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, moment of truth. Does the multi-block form? Oh no. Is the answer no? Oh no, what's wrong? Let me figure it out. Okay, I figured it out. Turns out I had my energy input hatches wrong. They need to do 2 on each corner, all around the outside, and then 2 on each corner on the inside. So if I place this, it should form. Okay, perfect, it did form. Now we need to supply this bad boy with some energy and the things that it needs to run. It really doesn't look great, but the reactor is hooked up entirely with signalum energy conduits to all 16 faces using these CEFs, and I think they're all connected just fine, right? There's power in all these. Yeah, we should be good. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, neodymium to europium, so I melted down 8 stacks of neodymium, and that should get automatically imported into there, and then I have 450 buckets of hydrogen. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it should be enough to get us running. And I believe we're doing okay. Are we sucking power really, really fast? Let's go check our, not ore processing, but we can teleport through the wall here. Are these guys working at full throttle? Maybe not. No, we're not. We're actually doing okay on power. Let's check our, these guys as well. Are these guys working full throttle? They might be soon, but they're not right now. It appears as though this isn't actually a very power-hungry recipe. Where am I? This is not the right place. Right here. Okay. And if we check right here, we should slowly start getting europium, which is what we want. I'm going to just go ahead and shove this into a tank, and once we get a decent amount, we should be able to just fluid solidify it. I'm waiting for a conversion kit just so it can hold all of the 8 stacks of europium type stuff that we need. However, this is doing well. I've stolen my first few bits of europium. We've actually got a bucket and a half now. And I'm going to fluid solidify it into plates. And wow, that was really fast. Okay, we have 11 europium plates, which is actually the perfect amount to begin creating the energy injectors? No. Inject... I guess I never put the recipe in. Hold on. These guys, the basic fusion crafting injectors. So I should be able to, in theory, request 10. And why is that making 19 empowered payless? Hold on, let me look through this recipe. I mean, everything should be right. I'm confused why it needs 19 payless. Oh, it needs 2 per, and I already have 1. Okay, never mind. We are correct. 10 of those. Get started. That's going to take a little while, but we have a little while. So let's go see how this guy's doing. Still only 600 buckets. Okay. Or 600 millibuckets, not even buckets. It has now officially been a little while, and we have the fusion crafting core and the basic fusion crafting injector. So we can set these guys up and start using them to do some fusion crafting, such as creating Wyvern cores. Okay, so this is completely doable. I set up the compressed infused lava crystal blocks in between while I was waiting for the things to craft up, and I just need to, I think, put in like 2 recipes and we should be good to go. So where do I want to put these? We might eventually have a lot of these fusion crafting injectors or fusion crafting stations because we might need a lot of them. So let's go ahead and put them over here. I'm going to go set this up because it's a little confusing and I don't really think I'm going to get it right on the first try, especially if I'm talking, so I'll be right back. Alright, so here is the basic setup. What I'm doing is I'm sending into a chest on blocking mode, so only 1 recipe goes in at once. Well, I only have 1 recipe anyway, so I think it's kind of fine. And then I'm filtering the insert here, but not the outsides. We'll see if this causes problems in the future, but for now it should work just about fine. So I'd crafted up a couple draconic cores, so we should be able to order just 1 Wyvern core right now. And it looks like everything's available. Go ahead and craft. And you see it should populate, and the thing should go in the center, and it should spin up. The main problem is I didn't connect energy to it. Now, did I? 1 second. I just hooked up to energy, and it looks like it's ready to go. This is actually the second one I'm making, because the first one kind of didn't catch it on camera, because it just kind of went. But this is kind of the coolest animation in the entire game, and it slowly spins around, becomes one with the item in the center, and then it'll pop right into a Wyvern core, just like that. Okay, and it should go right into our system just like that. Perfect. And now we have those. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to order 10 Wyvern fusion crafting injectors, and then we're going to be sad because we can't craft it because we don't have enough European plates. 1 second. And now we craft 10 of the Wyvern core injectors. This is going to take maybe an hour or more to finish up. As you can see, it has to empower 72 palace blocks, which will take it, I think it takes like almost a minute per, so it might be over an hour to do this. However, once we have the Wyvern crafting injectors, we can replace these and then upgrade these ones and set up a second one, which would be pretty useful actually. So I think that's everything for today. We got a ton done today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm excited for what we're coming on to soon, because we're really close to the creative tank. A couple more episodes and we should be there. Okay, have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.